Okay, welcome to day 3. Here we are. All right, so day 3, you have a little package, and in here is a Blackberry Bliss re-inker and an ink spot. So if you've never had our ink spots before, I highly recommend them. I think they're a really fabulous tool. They're great for inking up, especially images on the Stamparatus, or images that you tend to catch the edges or the corners of. If you've ever gotten that like kind of halo around your stamp, then using a Stampin' Spot is a great idea. So let me grab my re-inker, which is somewhere in here. Well, I will see if I can find my re-inker in a minute. But we also have our first card today. So I'm going to use just a sentiment that says "Here for you now." It's a really skinny sentiment because we actually are going to stamp on this little label from the Stylish Shapes dies, and it fits on there quite well, so we'll stamp that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about this card and kind of how the pieces come together. So you have a card base that's already been scored, and a piece of it has been taken off. So the piece that's been removed is 1 3/4. So it's leaving you a pretty big swath here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these 3 designer series sheets. And I like to first cut the little bar pieces off at the bottom. So cut it to 5 1/4, because these you can use later on a card, and we're probably gonna have a lot of these. And so, you know, you could make a really fun little scrappy card with these later. So we're gonna save these. And then for the front and inside panels, we're gonna cut a piece that's 2 1/4. So 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. And that's gonna go on the front. And then this one is actually gonna go on the inside. And you can decide whether you wanna do the stripes or whether you wanna do maybe the softer florals. Then you're also gonna cut a piece that's just 1, and I think it's just 1 1/4. No, 1 1/2, and that's gonna go right there. And then you've got a bar piece that we're gonna tape here, okay? And we're gonna have a little bar that comes across. We've got a couple of cute little daisies that we're gonna use. And then we're gonna put our sentiment on. Now you can decide kind of how you wanna do this. I might off-center this and put my daisy up here and put my sentiment here. You could put your sentiment like down here and put your daisy in the middle. You can, you know, kind of decide how you want to do that. And then I do have one piece of Whisper White that's going to go on the inside. So let's go ahead and glue this down. So I'm going to glue my inside panel. I will tell you that the zebra stripe looking piece is probably my least favorite piece of all of them. So I will not use that one. But now I've got some panel pieces that I could use on other cards. So that's important to remember, that you're gonna get more than just these 6 cards out of here. And so you get to kind of decide, you know, what you do with the remainder pieces. And so that'll be fun. And then I'm just gonna put this on here. So I just kind of held it where I knew. I'll get it to line up. And then we've got our little panel piece, our inset piece over here. So we're going to use Blackberry Bliss on our cards. If you have other ink colors or you want to do something else, then that is up to you, and feel free to do that. Oh, I moved that before I was ready. All right. And then these guys, we're just gonna put a little bit of glue in the middle, and we'll kind of rotate that until we get it where we want it, which happens to be perfect the first time, which is shocking. Whoops. There we go. I knew they'd slip eventually. Awesome. And I could pop this up with dimensionals. I'm not going to. I'm going to pop up my sentiment with dimensionals, but I'm going to leave this guy like this. All right. And then I've got my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp this real quick and put it on. And then we'll have done our day 3. So thinking about all the ways that we can use our re-inkers, all the ways that we can use our Stampin' Spots. When you buy the spots, you get a set of them. I think there's 5 in a package, which is nice. And so that's a really nice, opportunity to have a good set of them. And I'm gonna tuck this. So I like my pieces to touch. So I kind of want that to touch. And then there is an inside sentiment. It says, here for you now and in better days ahead. So I'm gonna stamp that inside sentiment on my white piece that goes on the inside. I just have to find it. Oh dear. We'll just cut a fresh white piece. So it's gonna be the same size as the other one, which is 2 1/4, right? Isn't that what I said? I always remeasure 2 1/4. All right, by 5 1/4. So we'll get this down to 5 1/4. And then hopefully, by doing these cards, it'll give you some fun ideas for some, fun folds, or, what I call like faux fun folds. This one looks super fancy, but this bar was actually this piece that was cut off. So all I did was that piece that was cut off, it now becomes the bar that goes across there, which is really fun, so, and really easy. All right, now I'm hoping that this other sentiment fits on here, because that is what I would like. And in better days ahead. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm gonna do something really wild, and I'm gonna cut my stamp. Don't panic. So sometimes I cut stamps when the sentiments don't fit and I want them to fit on a piece of paper. It is a-okay to cut your stamps. And what this lets you do is it lets you maybe, stagger them or move them in ways that you wouldn't be able to otherwise. And I'm actually going to stamp them separately because I want to put them kind of close together. So, and in better, and then this one's going to kind of go right below it. Days ahead. There we go. And in better days ahead. Now that looks nice, right? And so we're going to get our glue. And one of the reasons I like a card that has a smaller white panel on the inside is then you don't have to write as much, because sometimes you don't have a lot to say. You want to send a card, but maybe you don't know what to say. Nice. Very nice. And then we might come back at some point and maybe put a little embellishment or something here. But for now, that card is done. And that's a beautiful card and a really sweet card to send to somebody who might need some cheering up. So, all right, there we go. Day 3 done. See you later. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.